climbing Mount Rishiri today. I got up at 4:30 and I had to be very quiet because there were still some campers asleep that weren't setting off as early as me. But I've just joined the trailhead now. There's a hiker in front of me and a hiker behind me. I've got my sandals on. Now when the path starts getting a bit rougher, I'll put my hiking boots on. But for now, I'm just going to let my feet breathe. I've just passed the last water stop, a natural spring, and I'm at the 3rd station. So the nice path has just stopped. Still a nice path now, but it's not the tarmac that we were using for the last 15 minutes. So it says between the 3rd and the 4th station is an hour and a half. Which is no problem. And thank God some bright spark came up with an English translation. I kind of knew that. It says Mount Rishiri, because Rishiri is the name of the island, and I saw that on the ferry schedule. But I would have still been questioning myself. So last night was the first night camping on my trip, and the first night I've slept in that tent and on that airbed. It wasn't comfy at the start, but once I've found the position, I was right as rain. Now I've not camped in years. I think since my 30s. Yeah, so it's been a long time. So what I would say to all men and women, I suppose, who are in their early 50s who haven't camped for a while, is pitch your tent near toilets. Pitch your tent near the toilets. I mean, I went to the toilet at 9:30 and I was back up at 11:30 after I'd slept, and it took me a while to get to sleep because I wasn't comfy. And then from 11:30 I slept right through till 4. So it's not bad. I'm usually getting up at 4:30. Now the fellow that was sleeping next to me, not in the tent, the man that was sleeping in the next tent next to me, because there were only 3 of us on site. There were a biker who were closer to the toilets than I was. There was just a fellow that didn't emerge all night, and yeah, Jesus, he makes some noises in his sleep, that fella, screaming and shouting and talking. That was my alarm clock at 4 o'clock. Yeah, first night of camping, I'm thinking I'm going to get murdered, but I didn't, and here we are. The joys of camping. Hotel tonight. I just thought I'd produced a superhuman feat. Getting to doing the first part of the hike in 30 minutes rather than an hour and a half. So I've just gone past the 4th station. It turns out it's the 6th station that takes an hour and a half. So I've only been hiking for I've only been hiking for 30 minutes and I've got to the 4th station. So another hour, I think, and I'll get to the 6th station. But back there, it seemed like the forests were thinning out. But we've got back to the dense stuff again. We arrived at the 5th station, 610 metres. And it's beginning to thin out. It's not quite a lookout point just yet. So I've got one more station after this 5th station. I get to the 6th station. That's where it said the first lookout was. Now let's have a look at the time. I set off about 4:40, so I've been going for about 50 minutes. 50 minutes, right, okay. Right, let's get onward and upward. There's a chinchilla in that tree there. I don't know if you can see the leaves moving. There it goes. It's the second one I've seen. The trees are starting to change. A different kind of tree. And it's starting to thin out. And you can see these Arctic gales that come through, blowing through, must come this way towards Hokkaido, because the trees are growing at that angle. Look, you can see they're not growing straight up. So here in the winter, these gales must be horrific. Look at the angle that they're growing at. Finally, I've got a bit of flat. We're coming up to the 6th station. I don't know. Sixth station. Wow. So here it is. Now, it said an hour and 3/4 to get up here. Above average. So I set off at 4:40. It's 5:49. It took me an hour and 10 minutes. So I'm 35 minutes. I'm 35 minutes above average. What a guy. That's where, you can't see, it's a bit foggy. That's where ferry came in yesterday. And I cycled through the village, around, and then I think up this hill to get to the campsite. And I've walked up that way. You can't see it, trail. You can't see it. Anyway, 6th station, first viewpoint. Them that know Japan will know this drink, Aquarius, full of electrolytes, and it's perfect for when you're doing stuff like this. Now there's 2 of these brands that have cornered the market, Aquarius and Pocari Sweat. Yeah, it's called Sweat. So if you ever go to a convenience store in Japan and there's a bottle of Sweat, don't worry. If it's hot and you need some energy, just buy it. It tastes very nice. It tastes just the same as this, but it is called Sweat. Yeah. I don't think they had an English person on, or an English speaking person on the board when they chose that name. But it's nice, so don't be scared of it. 7th station, 895 metres, so 900 metres, which means I've got about 800 left. There's naught to see. I'm right in the middle of cloud now. I've done all this climbing and I can see naught. Got to keep going up that way. So it's all starting to clear a bit now. You've got these pine trees, which means you're getting up into the higher reaches. These trees will keep all these pines during winter, because it gets down. I was reading in October, the start of October, it's -2 around here. December you're dropping into double figures in the minus. So I switched my camera on because you could see summit and you could see a path leading to summit. That was about 20 seconds ago and now you can't see it. But there was blue sky. And this path is a lot easier now. It's more of a path, there's no big rocks to contend with. When I were down in the campsite, there were 3 fellas that were setting off at 4 o'clock. They walked past me as I was filling my water bottle up, and I've just seen them in front of me. They're about 500 or 600 metres in front of me. I saw them when cloud cleared. I've just passed an old fella that looked in his late 70s. I don't know what time he set out. We seem to be, asked him if we were alright, he seemed to be right enough. And I've changed my footwear. I've got these Merrells which I brought out of retirement just for this hike. I broke my toe on my left foot, so those sandals were more for comfort than aught else. But as it's becoming a bit treacherous up here, I thought I'll put proper footwear on and then make no mistakes. We have stuff slowly revealing itself on Mount Rishiri. Oh. Can't fucking walk. So I am up to the 8th station. Damn, it's cleared out. Mount Chokanyama. Here we are on Mount Chokanyama, the 8th station, 1,218 metres. So another 500 metres to go, which is up there. Look how green that is. Glorious. Now I could bullshit you saying I knew what that said to all you non-Japanese speakers, but I'm not a bullshitter, so I've no idea. But it's obviously something to do with Mount Chokayan. And if you can look closely, have you seen that moth? How it just, look at that, look how beautiful that is. How it just blends in. Just fit itself into that little hole. I'm not going to disturb you, brother. You stay there. A lot of birds up here. I'd want you for the dinner. You stay safe, man. And there, you turn around, it's gone. The summit is gone. It's that quick. That quick. There seems to be plenty of folk on the mountain, and you can't. There's no way that you can drift off of the path. Oh, we're going to get a photo of that. Oh, it's there. I'm going to get a photo of that with my phone. Not to be. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Alright. I don't believe you, but alright. Oh, this is much better underfoot than before. That fella I was talking to yesterday, who said after at 6th station you'll be right as rain. I think no. After the 7th you're kind of alright. But not after 6, it was still a scramble. Right. Shouldn't be long now. It said 15 minutes, but I don't think that's true. There. The cloud has cleared for a bit. Look how red that dirt is. And look how green that grass is. It's like something from Kong Island. Expected a big monkey to come over at ridge. This is wild Japan. definitely. Holy fuck. It's game over if you go down there, especially because I'm by myself. Right, I'm just going to step away. Jesus Christ. Yep, you don't want to get lost in the fog over that way. Rope hadn't even been tied off right. If I were in England, I would pen a strong letter to my local MP. But I'm not, so I'm going to keep my trap shut. This summit keeps teasing me. I can see it, I can't see it, I can see it, I can't see it. Mostly I can't see it. But this cloud is blowing through. It's cooling me off because I was sweating a bit. I've sweated through my t-shirt and my sweatshirt. I've got a coat, but you know, you're putting it on, you're taking it off, you're putting it on, you're taking it off. Ah, there's a station here, an emergency shelter, which they said down at the campsite, you can stay in it, but you can't sleep in it. I'm going to blast straight through. Konnichiwa. 40 minutes. 40 minutes. So at 15 minutes to the emergency shelter. So I've got another 40 minutes to the summit. Oh, I've got my second wind now. Oh, I've got a second wind now. I feel much better. I think when it gets better underfoot, I wasn't able to look around on the lower part of this hike because you're constantly looking down at your feet to see where your foot's going, because if there's a loose rock you soon twist your ankle, but here it's like walking on Axminster carpet. It's just a dirt path now with some boards, so I can look around at the views, of which there aren't any because of this cloud. When I'm going to get to the top, I'll sit there doggedly until we can get a bit of a view. I've got a warm coat which I can bang on if I get too cold. There's a ferry I can catch at 12, but I don't want to rush down because that's how accidents will start. And there's another one at 5. Definitely get that. But getting worse again. Joy. This is glorious. Absolutely glorious. The clouds have parted. They've gone from grey to white. And I'm completely above it all. I'm just having a short rest. Just cool off in shade. There's the 9th station down there. There's a couple of hikers down there. I'm just above that red dirt that I pointed out further down at the 8th station. I'm just sat above that now. I'm fucking tired. Taking it slow. Just taking it slow and holy shit, I can see the summit, finally. Wow. Look at this place. Holy shit. I am not far off. Go on, let's get it done. Damn, it's got a lot colder up here as well. A lot colder. My mood has got quite upbeat after seeing it. After seeing the summit, I was thinking about turning back a bit further back. Oh, I've got a rest coming my way. And we are the final leg. Oh. Oh. Jesus Christ. The summit, the toppermost of Mount Rishiri. Oh, the relief. And there's the shrine behind me. 1,719 meters from sea level. And let me tell you, climbing all this way for this view was completely worth it. Not happy. I have got the satisfaction of completing it. Look at that. I've got the satisfaction of completing it, but there's not much of a view. I don't care. I don't care, I've done it. Mount Rishiri, check. Oh. Right, now for a drink and a rest. Right. Now for a drink and a rest. Thank Christ for that.